And you're live. There we go. All right. Hey, what's happening? My name's Cody. This guy here's Chunk. At least that's what they call you some days.
Yeah. Some days.
We're Rasslin Rage, and today we're gonna do our second episode or second week of Talking Feds. So when we come back, we're gonna talk Feds and we're gonna recap Smackdown and Raw. And we're back! Somebody said they missed that last week, so I just decided.
Who would miss that?
I have no idea, so I did it anyways. So starting with Raw, Chunk and I were kind of talking about this before. Both Raw and SmackDown were kind of Yeah, just There really wasn't a whole lot of anything.
2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down. Ouch.
Both.
There was a couple good matches, but and we'll talk about that, of course. But coming off of a pay-per-view weekend, you'd think there'd have been a little bit more spectacular stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, you would think so.
You know?
I mean, but it seemed like they weren't ready for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't know what they were going to do.
Right.
So I think that threw a wrench
Now, the
in these 2
pay-per-view.
shows.
So, I mean, we're not going to go through the whole pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view was lackluster.
You mean the Greatest Royal Rumble?
No, Backlash.
What?
Sunday.
What?
What do you mean, what?
What?
Did you watch it?
What?
Did you watch it for real?
No. Yeah, I watched.
Okay, I was going to say.
I watched most of it. I fell asleep.
I didn't watch the last match. To be perfectly honest, I didn't want to see Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
I mean, you see that on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Right. So, we'll open it up. So, again, and Backlash was, you know what I mean? There was, The whole ending to the Nakamura AJ Styles match was ridiculous. The whole thing, no title changes again.
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Nothing. I mean, it was just this thing, and
they're saving those for SummerSlam.
I suppose, because now we're going into Money in the Bank, right? Is that the next pay-per-view?
Yes.
So we got of course, now because they're full-fledged right going into Money in the Bank. They're already starting qualifying matches. So we saw Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens.
That was a really good match, actually.
For a qualifier.
Yeah.
And, of course, Braun Strowman took it. You know?
Yeah, so
there was a couple times where Kevin Owens put Braun Strowman out of the ring, and he was playing smart. He was trying to get him to get counted out.
Oh, yeah.
But Braun Strowman recovers and gets back in the ring, and, you know, that running power bomb. You know, you can only,
those running shoulder tackles.
Those two, of course.
Those killed.
Yeah, when he was
Kevin
running
Owens.
around the ring.
My goodness, that guy's a freak.
Yeah, definitely. So, Chunk's good buddy there, Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah.
And then your other buddies, the Revival.
I mean,
they took on No Way Jose again.
FTR.
Well, not again, but last week Baron Corbin took on No Way Jose. But he teamed up with Titus Worldwide. Baron Corbin and his team feel pretty good this week because they pulled out the win. Last week, Baron Corbin was embarrassed. Basically,
He would be too.
You know, Titus O'Neil played the what would you call that? Not a mole, gopher, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And distraction, and he distracted him, and No Way Jose got the win. So. Not this week, though. And then, you know, going right into it, the women, you know, now we're on our second year of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And so the women immediately had their first qualifier match. What are you looking at?
Which was nothing. I'm listening to you talk.
Okay. And so Ember Moon,
Ruby
Riott, and what was the other? Sasha Banks. They had a fatal 3-way, I guess you could say.
When they announced these 3, I was like, oh, man, Sasha Banks is going to be in Money in the Bank again. It's going to be horrible.
Well, it was a 3-way, and it was a pretty good match.
It was a really good match.
Ember Moon is amazing, and I'm not a big fan of Sasha Botch.
At all.
You know, Ruby Riot's pretty good too.
Yeah,
and
this
it was
match really let her shine a little bit.
They did a great job. That finishing move, Ember Moon, man, off the corner there. Whew.
Yeah, what's it called?
I don't remember. How do you say it?
Eclipse.
There it is, Eclipse. Yeah, very good. But
a double eclipse in this match.
Yeah, and she ended up pitting Ruby Riot for the win. But the story here, a little bit of a story here, is that there's been a little bit of a rift between Sasha and her good buddy Bailey. And Bailey came out to try to help Sasha Banks, of course, because the Riot Squad was ringside and was beating up on her a little bit.
I know, I was really hoping she was coming out to join them.
And Bailey came out and tried to help her. But regardless of that, Sasha Banks, botch, whatever you want to call her nowadays, didn't pick up the win. And it is what it is. And we have Ember as the first female to be
placed in the second ever Money in the Bank match.
Second ever. Very good. And this is only her first time. This is her first time for it, because last year she was in NXT. Right, definitely awesome. Jinder Mahal, one of the best heels in the industry right now, besides The Miz, in my opinion. Everybody hates him, and that just means he's doing his job. But Jinder Mahal,
Sami Callihan.
Well, yeah, he's doing pretty good too. But Jinder Mahal defeated Chad Gable. Chad Gable a couple weeks ago got a win out of Jinder Mahal, and he wasn't too happy about that. But Mahal was demanding he get some respect in Raw, because since he's come to Raw, he hasn't had the opportunities that he foresaw that he thought he should be getting. And so
he's a past world champion.
Angle denied him an entrance into Money in the Bank and said, you need to worry about winning your match tonight. And, well, he did, but it still didn't guarantee him.
Wait, he did.
Well,
it was in decisive fashion.
Well, yeah, he beat the dog snot out of him. However, he still does not have an entry to Money in the Bank. So, there's that.
That's because Kurt Angle hates him.
Well, there could be that too. We don't know, but we'll see more of this to come. Definitely.
He only likes Jason Jordan.
He thinks. Well, okay. Listen to this. So this new tag team.
Which one?
Well, the Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre.
Amazing.
Okay, reminiscent of.
I don't know who.
You do know who.
I don't know who.
Diesel.
Oh,
HBK?
you mean HBK? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay. So very reminiscent of that.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Oh, okay. What? Well, I don't know why, but they faced off against Rhino and Heath Slater, who Rhino's a Michigan boy, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Michigan boy.
Yeah, he ran for like governor or senator or something like that.
Something, I don't know, down there out Dearborn, I think it was. But anyways, they beat the dog snot out of them. And and it was mostly Drew McIntyre.
Their finisher is amazing.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Drew is. I like that guy. I think he's entertaining. I wish that he wouldn't have got injured in NXT, because I really think that they could have did a lot with him. Even though he's now on the main roster, but I'd like to seen what they did with him in NXT. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more matches out of these guys, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the tag division on Raw, anyways, because most of the good tag teams went to SmackDown. At least that's what we all thought.
Well, here's one.
What's that?
Here's a good tag team, and AOP.
Well, yeah. So Elias. Every week he comes out, he does his thing where he's
poor guy.
While everybody walks with Elias, right?
Yeah.
But anyways,
except them cowards in the back.
That's true. And he was interrupted again. He was interrupted at Backlash by everybody. It seemed like.
Everybody. Everybody.
He was interrupted again tonight, but this time it was just Bobby Roode, and him and Bobby have been going kind of back and forth for a couple weeks now, and. He came out to his glorious music right in the middle of Elias's whatever concert you want to call it.
His one-man band.
Yeah, well, Elias has kind of been on a roll with Bobby Roode. He's got 2 wins out of Bobby Roode
in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and so this was the third one. This was the third match, and Elias didn't get the W.
Also known as the rubber match, which should have never even happened.
Okay.
He swept Bobby Roode in the best of 3.
So Roode pulled off the glorious DDT and then ended up getting a 3 count for the win. So remember last week we talked about Seth Rollins and the fighting champion.
Yeah.
So last week we'll recap a little bit. Last week Seth Rollins came out and decided that he was going to be a fighting champion, and he ended up taking on Finn Balor and retaining his championship again.
Beat him up.
He issued another open challenge, and you guess who answered the call?
Mojo Rawley.
Very good. Mojo Rawley. Now, it wasn't a bad match. It was not bad, I guess.
But
this is his first appearance for Team Red, Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, I don't know about this guy.
Who, Rawley?
Yeah.
Why is that?
He reminds me of Michael Rappaport.
He should
be playing basketball or football or something. He shouldn't be wrestling.
Well, he did play football, but he got injured, like most people.
Yeah, well,
Ron Simmons, The Rock.
I know, but man, this
Kevin
guy,
Nash. He didn't play football. He played basketball, but they get an injury.
This isn't his thing.
Okay. Anyways, that's a matter of opinion.
I know.
But he took full advantage of the opportunity of the open challenge, and he did give Rollins the runs for his money. And yeah, there we go. But in the end, it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? It just wasn't enough. What's that? Oh,
you said, yeah, there we go. I thought maybe someone talked to you.
He ended up retaining the belt. Who you think answers the call next week? Or here's a better question: who would you like to see answer the call? Not necessarily win the belt, but answer the call of the open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship belt.
Kevin Owens.
That's not a bad idea. I like that. Not bad. So, first time that the Raw Tag Team Champions have defended their titles. Bray Wyatt, Woken Matt Hardy, face off against Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Now they're saying they're no longer the Miz Taraj. They're no longer Miz Taraj.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I don't know. I didn't follow their promo there. You know what I mean? No, I didn't. And I was like, what just happened?
Well, we'll see where it's going. They're no longer that. They say they're no longer leading or supporting roles.
Right.
They haven't given a name for themselves. But interesting fact here. So Bo Dallas and Axel go against Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas are brothers.
Right.
They are the son of Mike Rotunda.
That's right.
Who is IRS.
That's right.
They are also the grandkids of Blackjack Mulligan.
Right.
They're also the nephews of Barry Windham.
That's right.
Now talk about a wrestling royalty family right there. Okay? That's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, but it was just interesting to know that Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas faced off against each other and their brothers. I thought I'd add that little piece of information. But right from the beginning, this was all Bray Wyatt. And, you didn't see Matt Hardy till the end where they pulled off a double Sister Abigail. And they retained the titles. So, we didn't see a lot of action because it was kind of a quicker match. But they retained the titles. Yay for them,
Yay.
Right? Yay! Then we come to...
Seems to be the going rate. The last pay-per-view, no title changes. Pay-per-view before that, no title changes. This week, no title changes. No title changes. No title. Nothing for you. Wake up.
Yeah. See, the record's skipping. All right, so anyways, now, main event. Another fatal three-way to qualify for Money in the Bank. Roman Reigns, this one's a little weird. Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn. They faced off. It turned out to be a decent match. There wasn't a lot of Roman Reigns in the match.
I know, that's why it was good.
And he was out of the match quite a bit there because Finn Balor and Sami Zayn were on the same page to beat the tarnations out of him. They ended up getting him out of the ring and over one of the things, the guard things, whatever. And he didn't come back in until later on in the match where he did end up getting knocked back out because, again, once he got in, Finn Balor and Sami Zayn took him out. He went out of the ring, and that's when Finn Balor attacked Zayn and ended up with a coup de grace and got him for the 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
You know,
this was a good match.
It was a good match. Any match Finn Balor's in is a good match.
I was pretty happy with it.
It's kind of like AJ Styles, however, I'm not really liking some of his matches with him and Shinsuke. Anyways, what, you like the match?
Which one?
Anyone?
Not with AJ, no.
You're not an AJ fan? Okay, moving on.
I waver.
Okay. SmackDown.
Imagine that, right?
SmackDown live Tuesday nights now. I remember they used to
Thursday, right?
Well, they used to tape it on Tuesdays and show it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I went to
same
SmackDown,
time as Thunder.
Yes. Very good. Well, they also would do Sunday night heats.
Yep, that's
tapings
right.
too, just like they do main event tapings.
And they would do that before. They would do Sunday night heat right before pay-per-views.
Yes.
And I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Especially when they had the Cyber Sundays.
Yes.
That was pretty sweet.
There was a lot of content back in the cable days, like when cable was really still the thing, and you couldn't get, and digital cable was just coming out, and they had the VOD, the video on demand, and WWE had a lot of content that you could watch back then that was just extra stuff, and that was still WWF day. That was before, before the E, before they got the F out. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was the campaign. Get the F out, right? That was a good campaign, actually, to transition from something that we grew up with. Like I said, we talked about it before. Both Raw and SmackDown weren't all that in a box of chips. And I don't know what's going on. It's like the ratings.
The writers are probably on vacation.
I guess, and the ratings are showing too because both Raw and SmackDown dropped. I don't have the exact numbers, but they did drop.
It's crazy.
I think this for Raw, it's the lowest it's been this year so far.
Their stock went way up through the roof, and next thing you know, their ratings go way down.
Yeah, who knows?
The toilet.
So
how crazy is that?
The Miz, who I believe, like I said, is one of the better heels besides Jinder Mahal at the moment, he went up against Jeff Hardy, and believe it or not, he pulled off the win.
Yeah, I know. That was a good. Did you see the finish?
No, I didn't get to see the finish.
It was really good, actually. The heart attack thing that Jeff does.
Yeah.
Where you're down in the corner and he jumps up and kicks you in the face. Then a swanton. Miz rolls him up after the 2 count. After the swanton gets the 1, 2, 3. It was really sweet.
All right,
I
nice.
really liked the finish in that match.
So, that was pretty good stuff. That was a qualifier too. You know? So no title change there.
No, yeah.
However, the Miz is now in the not in the Royal Rumble, the Money in the Bank.
Oh man, I thought we were going back in time.
Oh man, we're going back. So Charlotte took on Peyton Royce in a women's Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Can I ask you a question about Peyton Royce and Billy Kay?
Sure.
Do you think they're do they remind you of a Lay Cool 2.0 or something like that? Do you remember Lay Cool?
Yes. Kinda.
Right, don't they?
But they're trash talkers, and
I like them. I was a fan of Lay Cool.
The Iconics. The whole way out to the ring, they trashed Charlotte.
Yeah, I know, it was great.
But Charlotte,
she's Charlotte, yeah.
And she did end up, she pulled off her signature moonsault, and she got a figure 8 and beat her by submission.
Yeah.
So that's typical Flair.
That's right.
And so now she wasn't in the Money in the Bank women's ladder match last year
because she was a champ. That's right.
Yes,
so now this time she is.
Although there's news that she's going to have surgery on a ruptured breast implant. So we'll see how long.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be too bad though.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know though.
So last week.
Had breast implants. So.
You mean either? I don't have breast implants, although I may.
Yeah, those are natural. I've touched them before.
So last week we talked about Xavier Woods. Right?
Yeah, he don't do much.
Well, last week he had a match, remember? And we were like, he don't do much. And then he had another match this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, and he went up against Cesaro, right? And it was a really good match.
Yeah, both
And-
those guys are amazing.
Well, Xavier Wood has got some moves, man. I don't know why they don't utilize him a little bit more to show him off and show his moves. I don't know. He's got a mouth too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so again, but even though he didn't pick up the W and walk out with the win, it was a great match because it was good to watch Xavier Woods wrestle. That's why I enjoyed that match. I don't know about you. Look at this yawning. All right. So
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
last week on SmackDown, GM Page basically said Absolution is dead.
I know, I was really sad.
Okay, so Mandy Rose set to face off against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch made her way out to the ring. She was already in the ring. And then, like the staging area where they got the board and stuff. They cut to the Sonya and Mandy Rose back there, and then they're talking, and then Paige comes in and says, I thought I told you Absolution's dead, yada, yada, yada. They're like, it's not, or it is, but we're still friends. That thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you're banned from ringside.
That's not nice.
So Mandy Rose went out by herself, who's got this nice new intro where
That's typical.
the focus is all on her, obviously.
That's typical.
Is it typical?
When when you make it, you always leave everybody else that you used to know behind.
Ah, I suppose.
And that's what Paige is doing here. She's like, no.
Let me
I don't
ask
need
you a
you
question.
guys
Here's a
anymore.
question I need to ask you, and this is more on a personal. It's not even personal, but it's more like, what if, right? So you're training. Hypothetically, okay, you're training. You're developing a character for yourself in the indies. Your goal is obviously to make it to the big show, right?
Big Show will squash me.
Not the big show, the big stage, whatever.
Oh,
okay.
got ya.
All right. So, are you a heel?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I just want because I get that feeling from you. I really do. I get the heel
100%.
feeling. I get the heel from you.
The heel. If you look back in the history of wrestling, the heel is the best wrestler in the ring.
Usually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's got to make the other guy look good. That's
right.
his job.
That's right.
That's his job is to make the other guy look good.
And if he's doing his job right, you will hate his guts.
That's right.
And that's why I would be a heel.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, even though she didn't have her buddy out there, she still pulled out the W.
Yeah, I know.
She still got the win over Becky Lynch.
I was pretty surprised by that.
Stamped her ticket to the women's Money in the Bank.
Becky Lynch was pretty surprised by it, too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
And then the final match of the night, we see Daniel Bryan take on Rusev.
Yeah, I would.
Two fan favorites right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Two fan favorites facing off
That's why
against each other.
I don't know.
And nobody ever would have saw this coming with the way that it's been, a lot of the booking's been going. And Rusev comes out on top against Daniel Bryan. So that leads me to believe that Daniel Bryan is going to have another way in, 1, 2, or he's going to have his own match.
See, what I was thinking is after all the qualifying matches, they'll have 3 qualifying matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And qualify 3 people for each show. Well, for at least for one of the shows, I believe this is how it'll go. Have 3 qualifying matches. One was a 3-way, 2 were singles matches, and then the 4th one will be a 4-way against all the losers of the other match, of the other matches. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
I think that would be a pretty good way to go about that.
Because they only have, 6 or 7?
8 people, 4 from each show.
Okay.
And in the men's, and 4 from each show for the women's.
Gotcha.
But have you seen the pictures going around the world of 3 different Money in the Bank cases?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, and did you see the promos that they were doing about Money in the Bank? Tag teams were being featured. I saw the Ascension. I saw Breezango.
No, I didn't see it. But
What if they have a tag team Money in the Bank?
I think it's gonna too much.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it would be sweet.
I don't know. I don't.
Reminiscent of Hardy.
They need. They needed.
Oh man.
They have the Dusty Classic in NXT.
Right.
You know, I think they need to do a tag team tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
within
cool too.
within the main roster.
Yeah, that would
but
be
make
cool
it its
too.
own thing, so that it brings a little more prestige, rather than doing a Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think they should do they should do tournament style wrestling a lot more than they do, because they haven't done anything like that.
That's
really,
just those are just my thoughts. You know what I mean? Just because I don't, whatever you might think that's a great idea.
But the money, I think the tag team money, just for for viewership, is all I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not a personal fan of it. I think it's just too much. You already have you have a women's now, and you have a men's, and the tag team
Lives matter.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just I would rather see a tournament than say a Money in the Bank for a tag team. That's just me. I would rather see that. What's that?
That's just me.
Well, it is. I mean, what else could you do? There'd have to be some more stipulations to a tag for a Money in the Bank.
No, there wouldn't.
Yes, there would.
Why?
It'd have to be, because you only have 4 corners.
So what?
So that means you have 4 tag teams.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Why not?
That's 2 from each show.
Sure.
Nah.
Why? That's still 8 guys.
No. I don't like it. I would rather see a tournament.
I don't like it.
Well, I don't like it because with the tournament you could do all the tag teams, and you could spread it out, and then you could do the main matches where guys have to wrestle 2 matches in one night. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but I don't know if you'll see that ever again. Really?
Yeah,
Not
well,
in
I don't
WWE.
know. You never know. You want to eat, you wrestle. That's the way it is.
You can get your hot dog in your hand.
That's right. You want to eat, wrestle. That's it. All right, so that was this week's edition of Talking Feds. We're live again this Friday at 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Listen, if you like our show and you want to buy a T-shirt, go down below in the description. Our store is at ProWrestlingTees.com/Rasslin Rage. Well, we got so many different things, man. Rasslin Rage. All right. Then, we have a website, RasslinRage.com. You can go there, click on the Pro Wrestling Tees logo. That'll take you right to our store. Down below, there's some links for Fite TV. Go ahead, click on that. Register. Get signed up for Fite TV. Give us $1, will you?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that app.
Yeah, give us $1. That's all I'm asking. All you got to do is go there and register. You don't even have to buy anything.
Yeah,
man.
there's lots of free content out there.
Yeah,
Lots
ROH. Every week.
Content.
ROH.
ROH is on there. So
there's that one out of California, too. I can't think of the name of it. Hollywood Wrestling. That's on there. That's free,
Hollywood
too.
is. Booker T has one. It's like, I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I know. It's
Reality of Wrestling, I believe it is.
It's something.
And that's based out of Texas. His brother, Billy Ray, has something to do with it. That, so it's a pretty cool show.
All right. So, catch us on Friday. That's where we'll do our Collector's Corner. We'll also do... we do All the Rage, where we talk all the wrestling news, and then we also talk indies, of course. There's this big match coming up on the 26th in Blue Water Championship Wrestling. Yeah, and there's a lot of shut up. There's a lot of back and forth on Facebook with promos going on between Weaponized Alex Weir and Cyrus Satine, and it's a career versus career match, and it's the excitement. And the hype is there. Yeah, the hype is there. We got time, but the hype is there, and we got to pay attention to what's going on. So make sure you're checking Facebook for all the action, guys. All right, they call me Cody.
They call me Chuck.
And we'll see you guys again next week. Or no, we'll see you Friday.
Friday. No, is this the 18th? Oh, no, never mind. All right.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Okay. Bye.